This is a 2010 Honda CRV, and I'm going to show you how I changed the windshield wiper transmission on this vehicle. I have an issue on my motor, the wiper motor transmission. As you can tell, if I bring it down one, it wipes. So try it one more time. Notice how the speed is kind of like almost a little bit faster, not too fast. Look what happens when I do it faster than that. It stops, and sometimes it just completely stops. It doesn't, even if I lower it, it doesn't work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to replace the transmission motor on the vehicle. Next is we're going to have to remove the wiper arm caps right here. This one here and this one here on this passenger side. So you just use some type of either a screwdriver, flathead, or something like this. Once you remove it, it exposes the nut. So we're going to do that here also. Alright, so to remove the nuts, use a 17mm socket. I use a small extension, probably like 6-inch extension, and a ratchet. Just place it in, and then just loosen it up. Now, I recommend, so that you at least don't lose the location or the position for the wipers, you might want to use a tape and just mark the position so that you can place it back in the same way. Just as an example, as you can tell, I bring the wiper arm down as far as I can, and then I mark it. Just put a mark on it with a marker, and then I try to push it up a little bit to see how far it goes up. You don't force it, just slightly to see how far it goes up. Then I do a second mark for it. Alright, so here I have the ratchet. Try to loosen this up, but as you can tell, you see how the arm moves. So you want to hold it and try to loosen it up. It's gonna be kind of hard because this nut is probably a little bit tight, and based on the location of it, it's a little bit difficult to turn. I'm gonna try it again. I believe I loosened that up. Yep, it's loose now. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. To remove the wiper blade arm, it's very easy. You just make sure that you pull this. Now obviously I can't do it with the hood the way I have it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take down the hood. Just going to drop it lightly. So you want to turn this arm up, bend it at a pivot point here, and then just wiggle it back and forth until it comes out. Sometimes it needs a little bit of pressure, but it will come up. There it is. So that's the first. Do the same thing to the other side. And this is how I'm going to mark them. This will be for the passenger, that will be for the driver's side. Next, we're going to try to we're going to just pull off this damper seal for the hood. Now we're going to remove several clips. You can use a body tool like this to remove it, or a flathead screwdriver. And the idea is that you want to get under these clips and pull them off. So that's one. There's others along the way. As you can tell, there's one missing here. I gotta put that one back. I have another one that is missing here, but they're all the same. Use a body tool and pull them up. There's one on that side, on the passenger side, so we're gonna take care of that. Here we are on the passenger side. Do the same thing, just go under with a body tool and remove the clip. So normally this plastic cover on the passenger side is held by clips, so you should be able to pull it out, and it'll come off. There we go. So now keep in mind that when you're pulling it out of this area, you kind of like gotta twist it a little bit. So when you're putting it back in, you do the same thing. You twist it over and just push it back in. I just keep that in mind. We're gonna work the same way on the other side. So here we are on the driver's side. We gotta pull up on the plastic cover. Do the same thing on this side. There we go. For the coil, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to see if we can pull it off. We can just do that by lifting here, and you gotta pull firmly up, and you can hear the clips snap off. We started from the passenger side because the passenger side overlaps the driver's side. It's a two-piece plastic cover here, so that's why we're doing this side first. And as you can tell, now it's loose. So now that it's loose, we're gonna try to see if we can work on the other side and loosen up the other side. So from this side, we're gonna do the same thing. Gonna try to pull firmly. There we go. Now this is out. So the whole piece is out. Do the same thing on the other end. Right over here. Get it out of the way. Now you don't have to remove the whole thing out. If you want to, we can do that too. There's a washer nozzle hose right here that you can basically take apart and remove, so you can take the whole thing and take it out of the way. To remove the wiper motor transmission, we're gonna have to remove the sprays that goes from the strut tower, from this strut tower to the other strut tower over there. So let's take this side apart. This will be the passenger side. That one here, this is 14 millimeter. Now we're gonna go here, take this one off, and then we'll take that one off. Now after removing those 3 nuts from that side, do the same thing on that side. Remove the three there on the right hand side, same location as the others. And then we're gonna have a 10 millimeter, actually we have 4 10 millimeter bolts, one there, one there, one there, and one right behind the transmission there. That I'm gonna use a 10-inch extension with a 10 millimeter socket and a ratchet. That should make things easier because because there's that deep in there. It gives me enough clearance to get them off. So I'm gonna try to remove this. That's the first, and I'll do the same thing on the other sides. There we go. Okay, so now I remove all 4 bolts that I have back there, 10 millimeter bolt. Now the next thing is we have an electrical connector here. We should remove it because we're gonna take it out anyway. So the way you do that is there's a tab right here. Just press down and then pull this apart from that. That's what you do. You pull it just like that. Notice electrical connector is going to remain with the transmission here, and then this one comes off. There's also like a weather seal right here for this connector, so we're gonna have to remove it. So we just press it with your finger towards the middle here, and you see it squeezes in and it goes right through it. So that way you can remove this bridge here. See, now the bridge can come off. But as long as you just make sure you wiggle it until you get it off. So here I am on the passenger side. I'm going to do the same thing again. Try to wiggle this out of here. There we go. Coming off. So it's stuck on the electrical connector over there. I just gotta move it a little bit. So here it is, the electrical connector. Just move it out of the way to get it right through that hole. Now this is the wiper blade transmission. We have 4 bolts we gotta remove. They're all 10 millimeter. We got one here, one there, one here, and one back there behind the connector. So we're probably gonna need an extension to remove that one. So take this one out. Loosen that up. I'm gonna loosen up this one back here. That's why you need a good extension. It looks like probably a 6-inch extension is the proper size here. I have a 12-inch. You can use that too. Okay, so I removed the four bolts here. I'm gonna put them aside, and now the transmission should be loose. The wiper blade transmission. So let's take a look. See, it comes. It's pretty much out. So you just try to wiggle it out of there. Notice how I took it out. I had to basically pull it that way out. So I just wanted to show you. This is the one that I just removed from the vehicle, and I got a used one right here. A vehicle that has 65,000 miles on it. It's exactly the same thing. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to replace, kind of like transfer a few pieces over. So it's an example here. I'll show you on this one. On this one, there's this plastic cover here. You just pull it off, and this one doesn't have it, so I'm just gonna transfer it over to that side. I'll do the same thing with the driver's side, and just push it back in here. Next, I want to look around and see if there's anything else missing. You know, as you can tell here, there's something missing here, because they're supposed to have this little, it's kind of like a rubber mount here. We have on the old piece, on the old part, we have this one here. So we're gonna have to like basically pull this out so we can transfer it over to that side. That's about the only thing I can see that needed to be transferred over. Everything else looks just fine. So we're gonna do that next. So just in case, because I just noticed this issue, I just figured this out. Figure you might have the same issue when you're removing this, but if you want to remove it first, the best thing to do is actually to come from under and remove this little metal ring right here. Here it is, this piece. You remove that first, and then you should be able to remove this rubber piece easier. So this one goes on the top, and the bigger one goes on the bottom. And the way you do it is that if you want to put it back, you kind of like push it in like this. Obviously, to remove it, you just pull it out once you remove this metal piece. Now I'm going to put it back, so I'm going to try to see if I can squeeze it in here. There it is. So see, it's pretty easy to do that, but with a metal piece in it, very, very difficult. So just remember to remove that. Now that you place that back in, you take this metal piece and go from below and push it through the hole like that, and now it's sitting properly. So just keep that in mind. You actually gotta pull this or push this metal piece through to pull it out from down here, and then be able to remove this rubber piece, and then putting it back is the reverse. Push the rubber piece in, and then the metal piece from under. Okay, so I'm gonna insert the transmission wiper transmission in here. It's almost there. It's a little bit of a tricky method to put it in, but just be patient. Just make sure that the holes here line up for the bolts. So I have this leverage now. I'm gonna put it right over this. I'm gonna try to pass this electrical connector right through the hole, like it was earlier. I'm gonna head over to the other side just to adjust it a little bit before I get this in here. There we go. I'm gonna pass this weather cover for the wire. I'm gonna try to pass it through. Yeah, it looks like it's all the way through. Yep. So just gonna make sure I adjust it properly. Now we can connect the connector. Connector is in, so everything is just fine. Now we're gonna put everything back. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put those 4 bolts that go right over here, one here, and the 3 others over there. And I just start them by hand. Just want to avoid cross threading them. So this one here, it looks like that one is in. This one looks like it's slightly off centered. Let me see if I can get it in there. So yep, looks like it's in. And so you gotta just tie in each bolt. Just don't go crazy with it. They're 10mm bolts, so you don't need to over tighten them. Just make sure they're snug. Now this is the passenger side. Just gonna put the nuts back in. There you go, right on top of the strut. Do the same thing here. Obviously I'm gonna need a socket for that one anyway, so I'll do this one. It's really hard to reach in there, so I'm gonna need a socket just to tighten that one too. Come back on the driver's side. Let's put the nut back on the strut. Alright, so I tightened this the 3 nuts here, the 3 nuts over there, and all the bolts that go on this brace here. So that's all done. We're just gonna put now this crawl back. So just pay attention to the clips. Just make sure that the clips are lined up with their respective holes here, and just be careful when you put in this back. We're gonna put this side first, obviously, because this was what we took off earlier. So we're going in the reverse order. So we're going back in here. I'm looking through. What you can do is you can look right through here to see if the clips are lining up. I can tell that they're lining up already. If I actually push it in, the clips should snap in. I want to adjust that one now. Same thing, just push it down there so it can go in. Here you want this to overlap, and what you want to do is you want to look and see that the clips are lining up here and the holes are lining up here too. They're not, so it looks like I gotta pull more that way. So that's what I'm gonna do next. There. See, they overlap here. I'm gonna pull it a little bit so they can overlap. There. Now if you look, see this hole here? It's lined up. So that means that this is exactly where it needs to be. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure all these clips are perfectly lined in here, lined up. What you can tell is you can look through and you can look at like the clip here and the hole there. And I see that it's a little bit down. Oh, there you go. I just pushed it down a little bit, and if it went right where it needed to go, and everything else is lined up if you look at it through this edge. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push everything back in so all the clips lock in. So you can hear them. Alright, the passenger side, I'm doing the same thing, making sure those clips are locked in. So now they're in. I believe I was missing 2 of those clips here. I'm gonna have to find 2 replacements. In the meantime, I'm gonna put the ones that go here. Just go in here and try to like wiggle this in until it goes in all the way. Now it's sitting in, and make sure this hole lines up here, because we're gonna have to put a clip there, and then just try to get this to snap in. There you go. So we got 2 pieces, the 2 clips in. Yeah, this is loose because it needs the clip that goes here. I'm just gonna work on the other side now. So on this side, the same thing. Wiggle it in, and then we gotta get this to line up. Also the clip here, you can see the clip there in the hole. They're almost there. There it is. There, they're on top of each other. Now you can push it in, push this one in, and now they're all in. And I just need the clip that goes here. Okay, so the clip that goes on the driver's side is here, so push it back in. There it is. Passenger side, same thing. Again, I'm gonna need to get 2 clips for that. I don't have them right now, so that'll be another day. Well, we just gotta put the windshield wipers back on. At this point, I want to see if I can put it in by lowering the hood first. I'm gonna start with the driver's side. Again, hold it with with your hands. Make sure you don't let it go loose, and try to line it up to your lines before you push it all the way in. So I'm gonna turn the pivot point. I'm gonna turn this. Now I can see that it's inside that bolt. And now I'm gonna try to see if I can get this to line up with this lines that I had before. Let's see. I'm looking at it, and it looks like it's exactly where I need it to go. I'm gonna show you. See, I made the above line here and the below line. When you push down, see, you can actually get it out of the way, move it over and stuff. So I'm just gonna make sure that it's right on that line, like there. And now this, it looks like it's in, but it's not. Once you put the knot in or you push it down, it's actually gonna lock in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that this is exactly where I need it to go here before I can go ahead and put the knot in and lock it. So again, this was the driver's side, so I'm gonna put the passenger side now. All right, so just place the passenger side wipers in. They're not locked yet. They actually go further in. So this is just on the top so that I can adjust it up there. And I put it on the bottom line. I'm just gonna make sure that everything is lined up before I tighten them. Okay, so the next thing is we gotta put those bolts back in. I mean the nuts back in. There we go. That one is in. I already put in the other one, but I haven't tightened it yet. And before I tighten the mounting nuts, I'm just gonna put the hood wiper seal on. Try to lock this in by tightening it. As you can tell, I held it so that way it didn't move at all. I'm gonna do the same thing here. In case you have a torque wrench, this nuts here, this one and the other one are torqued to I believe it's 21 foot-pounds. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna test to make sure the wiper arms are working properly. And I'm just gonna put this little caps back on. Just push them in. I want to remove the tape that I have there because I verify that the wipers are right on the line, and just make sure there's nothing left in the engine compartment, no extra tools or anything like that. And we're just gonna close it. Okay, we're back in the vehicle. I'm gonna turn the engine on. Just want to test the windshield wipers, and I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go down to 1 level. They're running nice and smooth. I'm gonna go next to the next level. Okay, it's nice and smooth. And it's going a little bit quicker, which is what I needed. And the 3rd level, exactly what I needed it to do. Perfect. So everything is back to normal.